104.1 FM and 990 AM WEEB. And I just fired up the in-studio camera, so you can now watch us on video at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link that will get you there. And if you're on your mobile device, your YouTube app will work. Just put Mornings with the Leader Man in there, all one word, and that should put us at the top of your results. If you just need audio, we suggest tune in on iTunes. Those platforms work well. Put WEEB in the search, and if you want it off of our website, the icon in the upper right-hand corner of all our web pages at talk973.com. Well, the icon says listen live. Tap that once, and you're listening that quick. All right, 43 now past the hour. Matt has the day off. He's down watching somebody graduate boot camp. So always a proud day in another hero's life there when they survive boot camp and get to the point of graduation. So one of his, basically one of his adopted sons, as he calls him, is having that proud moment today, and Matt's there to cheer him on. So we'll let him out for that. All right, sound bites this morning. Let me scoot back up to the top of my list here. Okay, we'll go to the telephone first, Snurdly, is that right? All right, this is our segment where we call, it would be greatly appreciated if. Your turn. It would be greatly appreciated if.
It would be greatly appreciated if the person who is merging onto the freeway would learn to accelerate and blend into traffic rather than enter the freeway at 40 miles an hour, causing me and every car in the right lane behind me to brake. Thank you.
All right, your turn. Would be greatly appreciated if. Tell me about it.
It would be greatly appreciated if people would stop microwaving fish at work.
Okay. Yeah, the smell of fish throughout the building. It does have a sticking habit of sticking to your nostrils. Okay. Well, we all know who Nick Saban is. Of course, he's the head coach for the Alabama, which is the #1 team in the country. So not only is he college's best coach right now, he's testy, and when he asks a stupid question, you hear that, he drums his fingers on the podium, and it ticks him off, kind of like this.
College football is back. 64 games on Saturday, including #1 ranked Alabama. And it all kicks off Saturday morning with our exclusive interview with Bama head coach Nick Saban. And, Coach, we assume it's going to be a great game versus Louisville.
I don't think you should assume anything. All right, so you can assume that.
Well, is the Crimson Tide ready for another exciting season?
Look, none of that's been decided yet. So I wish we could talk about something else because I don't really have anything else to say about it.
Well, do you mind if we turn your finger tapping on the podium into a beat for the rest of the promo?
You know, I don't.
Don't miss the first big Saturday of college football. This weekend, Nick Saban says, be there.
No, nobody said that. I mean, I don't know. Where did that come from, just to be clear?
Yeah, I think Nick needs his own tapping jam to the tapping fingers, don't you think? As only our production team can do it. The Nick Saban moment. All right, well, Labor Day is coming up, as we know, Monday. And Norm Schindler is here. We're going to skip that. He's not good taste today. Norm, shame on you for coming up with that. Ever wonder what people say about Labor Day besides Happy Labor Day? Well, we got somebody on the phone that says he's got something else to say about Labor Day. Good morning. Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
Just wanted to call and say Happy Labor Day.
All right, we got that covered.
And let's see, what else?
Well, you said you had something else. What is it?
Let's see.
What, do you just want to make every
Happy
sound?
Labor Day.
Well,
Let me think.
okay, enough of that. He just wants to hear himself talk, I believe. Well, when you consider Labor Day, you got to make sure it's a safe Labor Day. And here are the do's and don'ts for Labor Day.
And now, Labor Day do's and don'ts. Make this weekend the best Labor Day ever with these helpful reminders. Do wear sunscreen. Don't remove the shirt from your 300-pound body and become a sunscreen. Do throw something delicious on the barbecue grill. Don't use anything you've scraped from your bumper or trapped in the garage. Do compliment your wife on her sexy bikini. Don't search for a wheelbarrow to help keep her butt from dragging through the sand. Join us again next time for Labor Day do's and don'ts.
All right. And you ever ask yourself, with Labor Day it's here, where'd the year go to? You know, summer's coming to an end, vacations are done, school is back open, football's in the air.
It's the Labor Day weekend. Hard to believe, but summer's practically over. And what's next? Halloween, then Thanksgiving, then Christmas. And then it's the next year. And then another summer, and then another Labor Day come and gone. And your kids grow up, grade school, high school, college, and then they start having kids. And you just keep getting older and older. And then the dementia starts. And you have to move into assisted living, and then you get emphysema, and you spend the rest of your life on a respirator. So take advantage of all the great Labor Day sales this weekend before it's too late.
Okay, we also need to hear from the union bosses this morning about their meaning of Labor Day.
Greetings. This is your labor union boss wishing you a happy Labor Day. Whether you wish to acknowledge it or not, I am the reason you celebrate Labor Day. I'm not saying you're ungrateful. I'm just saying a lot of things can happen to a person with a family like yours during a Labor Day cookout. Bratwursts can magically fall off the grill. Lawn chairs can mysteriously fold up on you. Kegs can lose their pressure. Sunscreen can lose its SPF. In short, for a small fee, I can make sure things go smoothly. I can make sure your package of 8 hot dogs matches the number of buns you purchased. I can see to it that during horseshoe games, leaners become ringers, etc., and so on. All I'm saying is think about it. This is your union boss. Do the right thing, or suffer the consequences of a slightly less than average barbecue.
All right, message from the union boss. Well, a guy in California went surfing on his first date with the doctor. Sounds like a fairly decent date, doesn't it? Well, he kind of had spoiled it by, doggone going and having a heart attack. His date did CPR on him, being a doctor and all. And he eventually was revived in the ambulance. So their first kiss ended up being her giving him CPR. Well, at least there was no, it's all voluntary, I guess. They're still together now, by the way. And they started a charity called Paddle for Good. And the whole thing is on video because some composer was there on the beach trying to get a time-lapse shot of seagulls. Here's what they had to say.
Never imagined our first kiss would be her giving me CPR and saving my life, or that the whole thing would be somehow caught on video.
He was unconscious. I called for help and asked them to call 911. There was no pulse. We started CPR. When he stopped breathing, I gave him mouth to mouth. I told him we'd take care of him. 3 defibrillator shocks did nothing. Still no pulse. So the EMS crews took him away. Distraught and in tears, I called one of my best friends and I said, I finally met a really great guy and he dies on me.
Perhaps it was the magic of that first kiss that brought me back to the ambulance after the 6th defibrillator shock. But I'm fully recovered, forever grateful, and madly in love.
Yeah, I can see it now. She's saying, first God asked me out on a date in 15 years and goes and dies on me. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. And she brings him back to life. It's like the Sleeping Beauty, right? The magic kiss. Well, some guy was on, you ever been on those rides? I haven't, but I've seen them, where they, it's basically a slingshot, where you're basically sitting in a two-man seat, and that seat is cranked back to a whole lot of tension on a big slingshot. And then they release it, up you go, big time, at a high rate of speed. Well, some guys slice, they always have a camera there so that you can buy the video afterwards. But there was some guy that got a collection of these and put them together, and it's a pretty good little video.
I don't want to do it anymore. You know, like, it's too late.
Can I get out of this now? Nope. You ready for this? Well, I'd rather be back in Afghanistan doing this. No, you wouldn't.
I think it'd be better on the video. But since we're audio, you got the theater of the mind there. You heard that guy who says, I'd rather be back in Afghanistan. Boom, there he goes. He says, you call that a countdown? Yeah, that's kind of really, I bet that's a tough one to ride. I bet it is. Let's see. Oh, and then our idiot candidate of the day. And I shouldn't call him an idiot. He's out there campaigning, wants to win, and I think he might have gone a little too far. It's a guy named Kyle Green. He's running as an independent for a state representative seat in Minnesota. And he just released his campaign video. Now, Kyle is an African-American, and he calls himself the N-word in the video. See if you think this is appropriate. Yes, we have it bleeped, so.
Hi, I'm your neighbor Kyle Green. I'm running for District 18A State Representative. I'm not asking for you to vote for me as your leader. I'm asking for you to vote for me as your public servant. The primary duty of a state representative is to protect all the rights of his constituents. I want to be your state representative, I want to be your public servant, and I want to be your neighbor.
Okay. Too much? I think so. Northwestern State player was returning a kickoff last night, got hit hard by Donovan Wilson of Texas A&M, and the announcers loved it. Then Wilson was ejected for targeting, so they quickly forgot how thrilled they were when it happened and criticized him for celebrating the hit. The NSU player was fine. There was a new kickoff rule this season to lessen dangerous running backs when a fair catch takes you to the 25-yard line. Here's the call.
Opportunity for Miles Ward. Wow, he got lit at the 28-yard line. Donovan Wilson smoked him. Wow.
And man, he just laid a lick. And this right here, this is not a physical mistake. This is a mental mistake. That is everything that is described in targeting. Lowered the crown of his helmet, changed the level of his body. He rose up to create contact with the head and neck shoulder, and then he's celebrating. You can't do that.
During return, personal foul targeting on the kicking team, number 6. By rule, number 6 is disqualified for the ball game.
All right, well, that's what you call walking back to comment, I think. Anything else we want to do? If we've got time, we'll come back to it. Let's take a look at this day in history. This being the last day of August. 131 years ago in 1887, Thomas Edison received a patent for his crazy kaleidoscope, a strange device that projected moving pictures. It was kinetoscope. kinetoscope. For 130 years ago, in 1888, Jack the Ripper's first victim was discovered when Mary Ann Nichols was found murdered in her London apartment. 72 years ago, in 1946, the classic murder mystery, The Big Sleep, was released, starring Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. The Bogey and Bacall's second film together, and they were married by the time production on the film ended. 55 years ago, in 1963, Walter Cronkite began his anchorman duties at CBS Evening News. He retired in 81, died in 2009 at the age of 92. 42 years ago, in 1976, George Harrison found guilty of subconscious plagiarism. Yes. Of the Chiffons hit He's So Fine and his song My Sweet Lord. After 5 years of appeals, the decision cost George about $500,000. I'm glad he had the money to pay for it. Okay, right now here in the Sand Hills area, we are up to 70 degrees. Let's get your full forecast, all your news. It is 8 o'clock.
Well, we're expecting another hot and humid afternoon. Yesterday's highs were in the low to mid-90s. We'll go upper 80s to low 90s later this afternoon. Now, we should see a few more showers and storms pop up across the area than what we saw yesterday. Partly cloudy, again with upper 80s to low 90s. Some of the area high school football games this evening could see a shower or a storm. Partly cloudy with the low in the low to mid-70s. Saturday, scattered showers and thunderstorms possible in the afternoon. The high temperature again in the upper 80s to low 90s. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Senator John McCain returns to the nation's capital for the final time.
McCain's body arrived last night at Joint Base Andrews, getting a military welcome after flying from his beloved Arizona, where at a memorial service yesterday, former Vice President Joe Biden was among the speakers remembering McCain as one thing.
John was a hero. He was America's hero. One of the greatest heroes in our lifetime.
Congress's top leaders will speak at a ceremony today at the U.S. Capitol, along with Vice President Mike Pence. President Trump will not be there as McCain's body lies in state in the rotunda. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
President Trump telling a rally in Evansville, Indiana, enough is enough.
This country is tired of being ripped off by other countries.
Mr. Trump says his administration will continue renegotiating trade deals with other countries that treat the U.S. unfairly. Today is a Trump-imposed deadline for American and Canadian negotiators trying to come up with a replacement for NAFTA. Their budgets strained by sky-high gas prices. There's some good news for motorists as we head into the long holiday weekend and beyond.
Prices are falling as we head into fall. AAA expects the national gas price average to hit as low as $2.70, maybe even cheaper than that as we move into the fall months.
Jeanette Castellano with the AAA. A head-on collision on I-40 in New Mexico has killed 7 people, at least 20 others injured. Police believe a tire blew on a semi-trailer. It crossed the median, slamming into a Greyhound bus. Happened yesterday afternoon near the Arizona border. On Wall Street this morning, stock futures in the red. Dow futures down about 48 points. NASDAQ futures off 9. S&P futures down 6 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
If you wear a denture, are you sure your breath is clean and fresh? Try Polident. It's specifically designed to clean a denture because it's tough on odor-causing bacteria, but gentle on the denture itself. Polident has a 4-in-1 cleaning system with 4 powerful ingredients that work together to deep clean your denture. It kills 99.99% of odor-causing bacteria in laboratory testing and helps to remove stains. Feel confident and clean every day with Polident. Available at Walmart for a low price every day.
When it comes to your pain, many of you might be skeptical, like I was, about ordering Relief Factor. Pat Boone again for this wonderful 100% drug-free supplement designed to help your own body lower or eliminate occasional aches and pains due to aging, exercise, everyday living. I'm not skeptical any longer. The 3-week quick start is now discounted to only $19.95. Why don't you let us see if we can get you out of pain, too, at ReliefFactor.com.
Coca-Cola plugging a gap in its portfolio with the acquisition of a British coffee brand for just over $5 billion.
The deal represents a big return to Whitbread, which bought Costa in 1995 for just £19 million. At today's exchange rate, that's nearly $25 million. Since then, Costa has grown from just a few dozen stores to become the biggest coffee firm in Britain. And recently, Whitbread has invested heavily in Costa's expansion overseas. Coca-Cola President and CEO James Quincy says Costa will give the company new capabilities and expertise in coffee. Hot beverages, he says, is one of the few remaining segments of the total beverage landscape where Coca-Cola does not have a global brand. The $5.1 billion acquisition is expected to complete in the first half of 2019. Charles de Ledesma, London.
German Chancellor Angela Merkel now wrapping up a 3-day Africa visit in Nigeria. News and analysis at townhall.com. Another company set to move out of Britain ahead of Brexit.
Japanese electronics giant Panasonic planning to relocate from the UK to Amsterdam October 1st. They say to enable more cooperation with its holding company for subsidiaries outside Japan, as well as the group's financing arm, both already located in Amsterdam. The move would affect fewer than 10 employees. Other firms, including Airbus and Japanese banking giant Nomura Holdings, revealed similar plans to move because of uncertainty over Brexit. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
Bedlam in the newsroom. A meteorologist at a West Virginia TV station is accused of shoving a news anchor and fracturing her skull in the process. No information on just what triggered the fight at WSAZ-TV in Charleston. The 26-year-old on-air forecaster faces a charge of misdemeanor battery. Yet on Wall Street, S&P futures down 6 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This is Hand on Golf for another golf tip brought to you by Golf Augusta. Are you a digger or a scooper? Stay tuned and I'll offer help for those scoopers.
Do you go through a lot of gloves during hot weather? We suggest that you try the best summer glove for all, the FootJoy All-Weather Glove. Also for hot weather, we have a variety of moisture-wicking shirts by Under Armour FootJoy at special pricings. Ever wanted to play a British Open course? Now you can. Royal Troon is one of our newest TrackMan courses. Please avoid the bunkers as you might have to exit backwards. Have fun, play better golf. Golf Augusta is on U.S. Highway 1 in Southern Pines.
If you very seldom take a divot, you are a scooper. Your club path is 2 in, 2 out, and shallow. Try opening your setup by lining up your feet, hips, and shoulders left of your target and swinging your arms more up in the sky and down to the ground. Start with a pitching wedge and take small divots. Compressing the club face into the ball, into the ground, creates spin and ball speed, both requirements for stopping the ball on quick greens. Stay tuned for more golf tips. Unleash your potential with Golf Augusta's TrackMan Launchpad. Real golf, real distance.
One of the problems I've seen with large organizations over the years is the lack of good leadership. We get good people who know how to make things run, the folks who we could not do without, and all of a sudden we put them in a position of power and they have no idea what they're doing. Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and I want to talk to you about why I'm supporting Steve Adams for sheriff. I'd like to tell you why I feel Steve is the right man for this job. In Moore County, we've seen firsthand what happens when we put people in positions in which we expect them to run large departments and manage big budgets. We've seen how they ignore the way money's blown, or to be more fair, they have no real idea how to manage money that belongs to other people. They simply don't know how. And to be even more fair, they know very little about one of the most important things a person must know when they're in charge: how to lead, how to truly lead. Being in charge is one thing. Having years of experience building an organization and knowing how to keep it going is quite another. Steve understands something that I believe is extremely important. The most important part of being sheriff is surrounding yourself with the best and most well-trained deputies that you can find. Once you have them, your job is to actually listen to them as they rely on you to run the executive portion of the job. In turn, they rely on you to make sure they're given the tools and the permissions they need to do the best possible job in taking care of us, the citizens of Moore County. Steve will do that, and that's why I'm supporting Steve Adams for sheriff of Moore County.
Find out about Steve's plan at adamsforsheriff.com. That's adamsforsheriff.com. Paid for by Adams for Sheriff.
Metaphorically speaking, who is driving your car? You or the daily stress that comes from living in this modern world? Meditation has been scientifically proven to be beneficial in treating stress and stress-related illnesses. Neurofeedback is a way to measure that process and improve your response to stress. Neurofeedback addresses a host of issues like ADD, anxiety, ADHD, chronic pain, depression, migraines, sleep disorders, and more. Right Chiropractic offers neurofeedback as another tool in a host of powerful healing technologies. Take back the wheel and get on the straight road with neurofeedback. Call Right Chiropractic for a discussion on how the neurofeedback method can benefit you. Call 673-2225.
Tired of Republicans and Democrats combined? How about some free thinking anchored in the Constitution and the Declaration? Hi, this is Dave Zanotti from the Public Square. You can join in that kind of thought every day at thepublicsquare.com, and you can listen in every week as we look for real answers to real questions. Listen in Saturday at 9 a.m. and Sunday at 3 p.m. right here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. President Donald Trump is stopping in North Carolina today to raise money for 2 U.S. House candidates amid uncertainty about the future of the state's existing congressional districts. Republicans Mark Harris and Representative Ted Budd lag behind their Democratic opponents in campaign cash, and a visit from Mr. Trump might provide a needed boost. Congressman Harris tells WSOC News,
I think it speaks volumes about the importance of this race.
Family, friends, and well-wishers packed a Phoenix church yesterday to remember Arizona Senator John McCain. McCain's close friend, former Vice President Joe Biden, paid tribute.
John McCain's impact on America is not over. It's not hyperbole. It is not over. I don't think it's even close.
The Arizona Senator's 5-day funeral procession shifts to the nation's capital, where he'll lie in state under the Capitol Rotunda today. 2 people were arrested for fighting, and a third was charged with resisting an officer following last night's dust-up of dueling demonstrations over Silent Sam at UNC Chapel Hill. Roughly 300 converged on McCorkle Place near the spot where the Confederate monument was yanked from its base last Monday. This protester said,
when the Nazis show up, somebody's got to be there to say, we don't like Nazis in our space. If they don't, then they're allowed to proliferate, spread their ideas.
New Mexico State Police say 7 people are now confirmed dead after a head-on collision between a bus and a semi-truck on Interstate 40 near the Arizona border. There were 49 people on board the Greyhound bus. Preliminary information indicates one of the truck's tires blew, sending it across the median and into oncoming traffic. Reporter Allison Martinez has more.
People were screaming as rescuers tried to get them out. They saw bystanders shading children with blankets after they were finally rescued. Only 6 of the 48 on board were not transported to a hospital.
And a Durham woman is millions richer after winning a $4 million lottery prize. You're listening to NCN News.
Hey, football fans, the wait is over. The 2018 ACC Football Preview Magazine is out on newsstands right now. Get your football fix before the season kicks off with predictions from the experts, recruiting news, and rankings of the best ACC players and teams. No other magazine dedicates 10 pages to each ACC school, each jam-packed with stats and information. Want a copy shipped to you? Order your copy today by going to accsports.com and clicking on the Football Preview banner.
Will Democrats break Republican supermajorities in the North Carolina General Assembly? Will this year's election change the course of the state Supreme Court? What about all those constitutional amendments on the ballot? Carolina Journal will help you answer those questions. Available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
President Trump is signaling he won't fire Attorney General Jeff Sessions before voters go to the polls in November.
The president says he would just love to have Jeff Sessions do a great job. Asked in a Bloomberg interview if he'll keep the Attorney General beyond the midterm elections in November, the president declined to comment. Also in his Bloomberg interview, Mr. Trump reiterated he'll pull the U.S. out of the World Trade Organization if it doesn't, quote, shape up. And he said he's not thrilled that his Fed chair is raising interest rates. In a line that may be read as a threat to the Fed's independence, the president said, "We are not being accommodated. I don't like that." Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, the White House.
It's been 2 years since Hurricane Matthew slammed into the North Carolina coastline, and many of the victims still are not back at their homes. State lawmakers called out Governor Roy Cooper and his administration for what they say has been a failure to distribute aid to North Carolinians. Senator Danny Brett represents Columbus County.
The same requirements the federal government has placed on the state of North Carolina to get those monies were placed on South Carolina. South Carolina has been moving farther ahead of North Carolina since day one.
Good luck if you're headed to the airport to start the holiday weekend. CBS News correspondent Peter King says you'll have a lot of company.
This is expected to be the busiest day for air travel during the Labor Day holiday period. The trade group Airlines for America says nearly 3 million passengers will fly in the U.S., up 3.5% from a year ago. Drivers can expect higher gas prices. AAA says the national average is about $2.84 a gallon, 46 cents a gallon more than a year ago. The Auto Club predicts prices could start dropping after the holiday. Peter King, CBS News.
North Carolina's Wildlife Commission says 29 people have died in boating accidents this year, making it the deadliest in the past 20 years. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
We are kicking off the Labor Day holiday weekend, and it looks like it's going to be a hot one with the best chance for storms coming later today and Saturday, lesser chances for storms Sunday and Labor Day Monday. Partly cloudy this afternoon, upper 80s to low 90s with widely scattered showers and storms. Some will linger into the evening, the low tonight in the low to mid 70s. And then tomorrow, scattered showers and thunderstorms possible in the afternoon and evening, hot and humid, the high in the upper 80s to lower 90s. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Right now, sunny, 72 degrees, humidity 100%, dew point 72, pressure 30-15, winds calm, visibility is at 7 statute miles. Let's make it 8:14. Let's check your Sand Hills News for this Friday. Well, earlier this month, the Moore County Sheriff's Office received a report of an attempted burglary. The female victim reported that someone had broken into her vehicle, then attempted to gain access to a residence through a window sometime during the night. Then later, the Moore County Sheriff's Office received a second report of a breaking and entering in the Bass area. The female victim reported that a person was seen on camera entering her residence when she was not at home. Well, during the course of the investigation, deputies identified a suspect in each case as being 19-year-old Jesse Kamon McLean. McLean was taken into custody and transported to the detention center. He's been charged with crimes related to both cases. On the 19th, the Sheriff's Office received a report of a breaking and entering. The victim reported that a building on the property had been broken into and a car was stolen. During the course of the investigation, Cody Jerome Davis was identified as the suspect, and he was arrested by the Dunn Police Department. And police are searching for 2 men in connection with an armed robbery at First Bank in Bass. It happened yesterday at 11 at the location at the corner of East Maple and Seaboard Streets. The masked suspects received an undisclosed amount of money and ran away from the bank, according to the news release. Officials describe one of the suspects as a black man believed to be approximately 5'7" and weighing 140 pounds. During the robbery, he was dressed in a gray flannel shirt, blue jeans, tennis shoes, white tennis shoes, a blue ball cap with an emblem on the front logo saying the Charlotte Hornets. Authorities said the man entered the bank carrying a sawed-off shotgun and a blue duffel bag. The second suspect, who the FBI said acted as an outlook during the robbery, was described as a black man wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt and dark pants. He's believed to be 6 feet tall and weighs approximately 150 pounds. Bass Lake Elementary School and nearby Moore County Smart Start facilities were both placed on lockdown as a precaution after the robbery was reported. The lockdown was lifted shortly after noon. The second robbery reported this year at the bank. No arrests have been made in the previous robbery either, which happened on January 24th. That's your latest Sand Hills News this morning, but stand by. Here comes your latest in sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. It is 8:18.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. The Steelers beat the Panthers 39-24 last night in the preseason finale at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. The hard work now is being done by Ron Rivera and the positional coaches, as the NFL deadline to get the roster trimmed to 53 is tomorrow afternoon.
We take everything into consideration. You take, what went on during training camp practices, what went on during meetings, what went on during the games that you played, we'll talk about all those things, because again, as I said earlier in the week too, I think there's about 5 or 6 spots that are still up in the air, and we want to make sure we make good decisions.
Wake Forest freshman Sam Hartman was picked off twice in his collegiate debut last night, but was otherwise impressive, passing for 378 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Cade Carney powered in a short touchdown in overtime as the Demon Deacons defeated Tulane 23-17. Hartman was starting because projected starter Kendall Hinton was suspended for 3 games for an unspecified violation of team rules. Duke opening tonight versus Army West Point in Durham, a night usually reserved for Friday Night Lights.
I don't love playing Friday nights when high school football teams are playing, but we have television contracts, and we're going to certainly, when we're asked to do something, we're going to follow suit. But I'm excited because I think this one being Labor Day weekend gives people a great opportunity to come to a football game Friday night, and if they want to have Labor Day weekend off to go do something, they can.
The Blue Devils are 8-2 in season openers with David Cutcliffe at the helm, including last year's 60-7 blowout of NC Central. Duke hosting Army at 7 o'clock tonight in Durham. Other games this weekend, UNC is at Cal, NC State hosting James Madison, ECU at home against North Carolina A&T, while Elon is at South Florida, and App State. They're opening on the road in their first ever meeting with Penn State. This is NCN Sports.
North Carolina peanut farmers invite you to the 25th Annual Mountain State Fair. Come celebrate the agricultural and cultural traditions of North Carolina. One of those traditions is enjoying the fair with a bag of peanuts. So come to the Mountain State Fair, September 7th through the 16th. Ride the rides, see the animals, listen to the gospel singing, and watch clogging competition. You can do this all while enjoying some delicious, nutritious, and cholesterol-free peanuts. See you at the fair.
Carolina Hurricanes single-game tickets are on sale now. Take warning as the Canes host the New York Islanders at PNC Arena to kick off the 2018-2019 season on Thursday, October 4th. Full season, 22-game and 11-game flex plans also are available, offering tickets starting as low as $16 per game. For more information and to secure your seats for opening night, visit CarolinaHurricanes.com/tickets. Canes, Islanders, October 4th. Be there.
Make it 18 for 18 for Roger Federer in the second round of the U.S. Open. The 2-seed beat Benoit Paire to continue his streak of reaching the third round of the tournament. He's won 5 times. Novak Djokovic wasted a match point in the third set before going on to win and take out Tenny Sangdren. Number 2 seed in the women's draw, Caroline Wozniacki, is out in the second round. She lost in 2 sets to number 36, Lesa Trysenko of the Ukraine. It's Williams versus Williams, part 30 today. Serena and Venus Williams will meet tonight in the third round of the U.S. Open at New York's Arthur Ashe Stadium. It'll be the earliest Grand Slam matchup since their initial professional debut against each other 20 years ago when they were 16 and 17 years old. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
This is your Health Liberty Minute. I'm Steve Siddall. Well, if anything makes us human, it's our minds, it's our thoughts and emotions. Yet a controversial new concept is emerging that claims gut bacteria are invisible and altering our brains. Well, science is piecing together how the trillions of microbes that live on and in all of us, in other words, our microbiome, affect our physical health. But even conditions including depression, autism, and neurodegenerative diseases are now being linked to these tiny creatures. Well, we've known for centuries that how we feel affects our gut, but now it's being seen as a two-way street. Groups of researchers believe they are on the cusp of a revolution that uses mood microbes, or psychobiotics, to improve mental health. Well, here to talk about how the microbes are helping or hurting us is medical director at Youth Institute and best-selling author, Dr. Greg Brannon. Doctor, why is this of particular interest to you? It seems fascinating, but why?
It's beautiful because our gut is our #1 defense system to the environment. And what's happening is these disease processes are occurring because that gut is being actually harmed by Roundup, atrazine, pesticides that are affecting the normal microbiome. So what they're doing, they want to replenish those normal ones. It makes a lot of sense. Think about this. The gut has almost as many nerves as the brain. So we have to protect that. And the nutrition behind it, the hormones behind it, the vitamins behind it, and yes, the probiotics, the microbiome is crucial to our health. The future with vitamin D, probiotics, and fish oil can change depression. Autism actually was seen in a paper by Dr. Wakefield as a autistic colitis started in the gut itself. So let's look back at the science, but we have to look at the individual. What we're going to do at the individual at the Youth Institute is we're going to offer for the first 10 callers or texters a 30-minute consult and our book, Stay Forever Young.
Well, that sounds great, Doc. Take advantage of it today, gang. 800-351-8836, 800-351-8836, or just text the word Liberty to 21,000. That's Liberty to 21,000.
Dreaming of spring and summer on the porch? What about the pollen and bugs? Enjoy 3 beautiful seasons on your new enclosed porch or patio from Sinclair Porch and Patio. Sinclair Porch and Patio is an authorized Style Line dealer of Easy View windows, manufactured in North Carolina. Get more seasons from your porch, screened room, or gazebo. Call Sinclair Porch and Patio, 910-370-1470. Locally veteran owned, 910-370-1470, or SinclairPorchandPatio.com.
In addition to traditional HVAC services, Carolina Air in Carthage is a leader in smart home technology. Carolina Air has been selected by Google Nest to be one of 4 dealers in the state to be a Nest Home Pro installer. Go to YouTube and enter Google Nest and see the newest technologies in thermostats, alarm systems, video doorbells, and other products. Only at Carolina Air on 15501 in Carthage. Call 910-984-2232. 910-984-2232.
If the menu is getting a little stale at your favorite restaurant, the Hickory Tavern has a fresh summer solution starting with our newest appetizer, fried Florida grouper fingers, tender grouper fillets served up with chili lime crema and lemon, perfectly paired with a Hickory build-your-own salad. And now the Hickory has tender fall-off-the-bone baby back ribs. Summer means seafood, and the Hickory has you covered with shrimp, oysters, and crab legs. The Hickory Tavern. Come for the game, stay for the summer food.
It's the most dependable, longest-lasting, full-size pickup on the road today. The 2018 Chevy Silverado. Strong, capable, and built to withstand the test of time. When you need to get things done, you need a Silverado. Right now, get $11,505 in total value savings on a 2018 Silverado Crew Cab LT All-Star 4-wheel drive when you finance with GM Financial. Find new roads in your new Silverado from Clark. Experience the Clark Cadillac difference. Come pick out yours today at Clark Cadillac on Dundee Road in Pinehurst.
Well, we're expecting another hot and humid afternoon. Yesterday's highs were in the low to mid-90s. We'll go upper 80s to low 90s later this afternoon. Now, we should see a few more showers and storms pop up across the area than what we saw yesterday. Partly cloudy, again with upper 80s to low 90s. Some of the area high school football games this evening could see a shower or a storm. Partly cloudy with the low in the low to mid-70s. Saturday, scattered showers and thunderstorms possible in the afternoon. The high temperature again in the upper 80s to low 90s. I'm Mike Mays in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Happy Labor Day, everybody.
We're going to take a little family vacation of our own.
I was looking for a reason to binge drink.
According to AAA's forecast, 33 million Americans are planning to venture 50 miles or more away from home for a Labor Day getaway.
I hate traffic.
Gas prices this year are actually better than usual.
I've been dreaming all day about having you all to myself for 3 days.
A barbecue isn't complete without burgers and hot dogs.
Beer. We're going to trap and barbecue a vegan. Summer is officially over.
Are you excited?
Excited?
Why?
Well, first things first.
It's Friday.
And secondly,
Last day and all.
Last day of what?
Of what? August.
August.
The third, and most importantly,
3-day weekend.
3-day weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then, what are we waiting for?
What are we waiting for?
Let's start the show.
Let's start the show.
Remember the day you up and left. I nearly cried myself. I met someone else. She made me stop and get a hold of myself. Oh girl, I'm doing fine now.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams. Matt's off today. Don't forget, of course, I'm being seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available to you right now at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link. If you're on a mobile device, YouTube will get you there. Just put Mornings with the Leader Man, all one word, into your search. If you just need audio, we suggest the TuneIn or iTunes platforms. Others will work also. Just put WEEB into those searches, or you can get our crystal clear digital audio stream off of our website in the upper right-hand corner of every web page where that icon says Listen Live. Tap that once and you're listening that quick. Rather for us today here in the Sand Hills area, it's just going to be a continuation of Groundhog Day around here. Hot and humid, partly cloudy, scattered thunderstorms, 92 for high, heat index 99. Then tonight, partly cloudy, more thunderstorms, a little 74. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, scattered showers, 89 for a high, heat index 95. Sunday, partly cloudy, more isolated thunderstorms, 88 for a high, heat index 94. And this continues all into next week where we'll have highs around 89 or 90 each day with a chance of thunderstorms each day, although it be a small chance for a thunderstorm. If you get under one, it might be impressive, but otherwise everybody else will be without. But it's just unrelenting. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds calm, visibility 7 statute miles, pressure is 3015, dew point 72. Humidity maxed out at 100%. Big surprise there. It's sunny 72 right now here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. 8:30 straight up. Let's remind you once again that tonight Duke plays Army, and the money grubbers over there at ESPN have stepped into sacred territory of Friday Night Football. We are under contract to carry Duke, and that's what we will have to honor. So we will not have Pinecrest's game on here tonight, but it will resume next week, and there are no more conflicts for the rest of the season as far as football goes. So why ESPN does this, well, they pay a bunch of money and bought the NCAA basically, and they're allowed to tell them when and what time everybody plays because they just can't hoard enough money out of the system. And so they basically just don't care. And it just bothers me because Friday nights when communities come together, the high schools around this country, and they root and cheer as a community for their team, but ESPN has to goof that up all for the mighty dollar, when they could have easily carried it tomorrow without any problem, but they chose not to. All right, so it goofs things up here, and I apologize, but there's nothing I can do about it. I did call the network, give them an earful, but of course you know about how far that went up the chain on that one. All right, let's just move on to rim shots this morning and see how we do there with these. Don't have too many of them because some of them just don't live up to our quality requirements here. All right, rim shot. Bill Clinton will speak at Aretha Franklin's funeral today. At least that's what he is telling Hillary. Alec Baldwin announced he will not be involved in the upcoming Joker movie. But on the plus side, neither will Ben Affleck. Jay-Z and Beyonce tour has already grossed $150 million. Expect the pace to slow down because they're about to hit the Dakotas. Do they ever have concerts in the Dakotas? Are there enough people there to watch one? Okay. All right, the property adjacent to Kylie Jenner's house in Hidden Hills, California, is on the market for $5 million. The lot is completely vacant. The neighbors, well, even more so. Paul Simon's new album is available for streaming on NPR's website. Simon's fans are really excited to listen to the new album just as soon as their grandkids show them how the streaming works. Our Garfunkel has already played it numerous times for his Uber passengers. Starbucks is testing healthier frappuccinos, yes, because people who like whipped cream on their drinks are real health nuts, aren't they? Of course they are. And the suicide rate in rural America is skyrocketing. In other words, the fallout from Dale Jr.'s retiring from NASCAR is finally taking effect. And those are your rim shots for today. Told you there weren't that many. All right, let's go chase some bad guys together, shall we?
You, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the golden.
All right, my friends, it's time once again. Sucking that big breath of air. Let that big hairy chest of yours stick out like a man. Straight across the floor in the style of the Duke, John Wayne. Open up those closet doors. Look at all 30 of our Liberty safes. We're going to go over to one of these colonial Liberty safes today. It's safe number 23. And we'll open that bad boy up and reach in and grab our weapon of choice, which is going to be one of my favorites. The Glock 9mm. Throw that into our shoulder holster, pin on our bags, grab 5 cans of some super whoop ass as we now head out the door in relentless pursuit of stupid criminal news. Stupid criminal news number 1, I'm not sure there are any good guys in this story. A 17-year-old guy in Phoenix robbed a convenience store at gunpoint last week, 17 years old. Where's Mama and Daddy, huh? He pointed the gun at the clerk. Then he pointed it at some customers. Stole $300 worth of cigarettes. Probably 2 cartons there. Well, when he pointed it at the customers, they got an attitude about being disrespected by some 17-year-old punk with a shotgun. And as he was leaving, one of them tackled him. And the other one joined in and pummeling him, kicking him, beating him. And literally knocked him unconscious. And then to top it off, they robbed him. One of those guys left with his gun. Probably got it taken from him in a previous robbery. And the other one stole some things out of his pocket. This just wasn't your day, was it, boy? The robber was charged with aggravated assault and attempted armed robbery. And the police are trying to find the guy who robbed him. Or the guys, I should say. Ah, yes. Probably enjoyed that headache that those kicks in the head gave him, too. Stupid criminal news number 2. This guy used an old-school bullying tactic with his girlfriend, and it didn't go over so well. A 47-year-old guy idiot in Fort Pierce, Florida, named Joseph Searcy, was lying on the living room floor drunk. You knew alcohol was going to be in this story. Anyway, his girlfriend comes home from work. This all happened earlier this month. Then he started arguing with her. Yeah, the alcohol bubbles up to the top, and here comes all the brilliance out of his mouth. And was just being plain rude, so she decided to go hang out at a friend's house. But he tagged along to keep drinking while they were there. And when she was driving him home, he reached over and, oh boy, he's going to get all romantic. And he gives her a great big old wet willy. Now he's facing battery charges for it. When they got home, he kept belligerently coming at her with all kinds of stuff. Also threw stuff at her. So she finally had enough and called the police. It's not clear if they're still dating or if she dumped him. I bet it's the former. Anyway, he's arrested, got to spend some time in the pokey to sleep it off. And that, my friends, is your stupid criminal news for this Friday. Okay, 8:39 now, past the hour. Yeah. All right, let's check in with the things we need to know today so we do not sound stupid. Not only was Sarah Palin not invited or sent an invitation to John McCain's funeral, she was supposedly told through intermediaries to stay away from the ceremony. Is that really the way you should treat her? Is there something here I don't know? I mean, he called her to be his running mate, she stepped up. And did what was asked of her. They didn't win, but, you know, she did what was asked of her. Now to be treated like this, like a slap in the face on the way out, I don't get it. Anyway, John McCain's 106-year-old mother, Roberta McCain, plans to attend his memorial service. I guess it's his service. He can have it his way. He certainly earned it. But to put that all out there in the press, I don't see the need for it. Anyway, the mother plans to attend a memorial service in Washington on Saturday and his burial at U.S. Naval Academy in Maryland on Sunday. Venezuela's financial problems are well known. All that socialism working out so well for them. And now the Argentina pesos has dropped to its lowest value ever. Interest rates have also shot up to 60%. The hacker who stole nude photos of Jennifer Lawrence's from her phone back in 2014 has been sentenced to 6 months in prison. Man, if he wanted nude pictures of her, she did a film. I forget the name of it. It was boring as it could be, but she was doing full frontal nudity all through the thing. I couldn't even finish watching it. It just got so incredibly boring. A serial cat killer continues to terrorize Thurston County, Washington, just south of Seattle. 12 cats or kittens have been found mutilated in public places. Los Angeles has renamed Radio Road to Obama Boulevard. Detroit schools are back in session. They have turned off the drinking fountains due to the lead content. Yeah, all those shovel-ready jobs under Obama really got done, didn't they? Aretha Franklin wore a different outfit on the second day of public viewing than she did on day one. Serena Williams says she won't be celebrating her daughter's first birthday because of her Jehovah's Witness beliefs. For the second time, Kate Middleton, let me get in British mode here, or British snotty mode. For the second time, Her Majesty Kate Middleton borrowed Queen Elizabeth II's Bahrain pearl drop earrings, wearing them to church in Scotland over the weekend. This is the royal news you just could not live without. Hanging out for the second day in a row has fueled reunion rumors for Anna Faris and Chris Pratt. Garth Brooks has set October 20th as the date of his Notre Dame Stadium concert. I know there's some people just can't live without him. They will travel to the ends of the earth to go see him, kind of like Bruce Springsteen of rock. But when I had my nightclub in Raleigh, we had Garth Brooks there. I was back right like a week before he released Friends in Low Places, which put him on the map. Back then, he cost us $3,500 for the night. And he drew a good crowd, didn't pack it. He drew a good crowd, nice fella, nice to me, so I have no grudge against him. Then he released Friends in Low Places, and then the North Carolina State, that's when his price went way up, and he got $90,000 a night then for a concert. Same concert we heard for $3,500. Labor Day weekend gas prices have hit a 4-year high. The Justice Department has opened a probe of possible illegal payments to Chris Christie. Well, we'll see where that goes. And Apple may unveil some new iPhones on September 12th. I guess they need to give you another reason to part with $1,000. Because if it's new from Apple, you must have it. Today's Impossible Question. In a new survey, we find that 20% of workers say there is no downside to this. What might that be? It has to do with work. I'll give you that clue. And the correct answer is working from home. From a Did You Know category, according to Match.com, Honolulu, Hawaii is America's most romantic city. The average man gets a new belt every 2 years. According to research, they estimate that you'll spend 11 hours this year waiting on hold. That's over a whole workday. That's what gets me now is, you don't wait on hold so much as you try to get through their voicemail hell or their voice directions. It's like I called CenturyLink the other day. And when I finally got a human being on the line, I applauded. I said, I just want to congratulate you all on making sure you have mastered the art of ticking off the customer to the point of no return so that when you come on the line, they're just as mad as a wet hen. Because they you know what you want, but they won't give you the menu to get there. You got to go through this one, and then this one, and this one. And they keep trying to drive you to the computer to let it answer you, and the computer can't answer your question. And you keep trying to get the representative. Of course, you dial in zeros. It says, I did not understand that response. Whatever happened to Cubs? We don't have it because we've allowed monopolistic companies to emerge. Monopolistic meaning they're not a true monopoly, but nor can you just open up, compete with them because it costs way too much money to do it and too much regulation to get through that you go broke trying. So they basically have a monopolistic, meaning very few competitors to compete against. And let's face it, when you're trying to get access to the internet, what are you down to? Well, your phone carrier or your cable company. That's about it, isn't it? There's some others, but they just don't have the speed that you might need. 50% of us will have leftovers tonight at dinner. According to a recent survey, the number one thing that men fear most is swimming with sharks. The number two thing that men fear most is proposing marriage. Are you absolutely sure what the answer is going to be? According to the FBI, almost 3 out of 4 autographs are fake. Let's see. The most successful and effective leaders, from high school student council to business officials, business offices large and small, to the halls of government, have two dominant personality traits. Yes, Notre Dame University scoffed up your tax money to do this study to find out, what do successful people have in common? And they conducted a mental meta-analysis of previous research to determine which of the 5 big personality traits were most important for leadership effectiveness. Let's see. From self-confidence to self-discipline, find out the top 10 personality traits that will get you hired. And the top 5 are openness to experience, meaning inventive and curious versus consistent and cautious. Conscientiousness, efficient and organized versus easygoing and careless. Number 3, extroversion, outgoing and energetic versus solidarity and reserved. Agreeableness, meaning friendly and compassionate versus analytical and detached, and that's pretty much it. Let's see. That was a stupid one. We did that already. All right, Spy the Lie. We do this on Friday, but Matt's not here to play, so you'll have to play on your own. All of the following celebrities have contracted polio except for one. Spy the Lie. Francis Ford Coppola, Judy Collins, Hugh Laurie, that's House, Jack Nicklaus, or Joni Mitchell. And the correct answer is Hugh Laurie. All of the following are products of Kentucky except for one. Spy the Lie. George Clooney, Ariana Grande, Ashley Judd, Billy Ray Cyrus, or Johnny Depp. Correct answer from Florida. It's Ariana Grande. And all of the following are names of countries, of counties in Ohio except for one. Spy the Lie. Ashtabula, Licking, Reed, Champaign, or Dark. Correct answer, Reed. Guess you have to be from Ohio to know. All righty. From our stupid news, we forgot to do random facts for today, didn't we? Okay, you can put your arm in the air and put your fingers up as called for.
And now it's time for
Random
facts.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All righty. Random facts for today, 4 maybe a spare. Even though it doesn't look like it on the map, Australia is the continental United States. Australia and the continental United States are very similar in size. Australia is 2.97 million square miles. The U.S. is 3.1 million square miles. People drive on the right side of the road in about 75% of countries around the world. You can't actually see the Great Wall of China from space. Jean-Claude Van Damme was originally cast as the Predator in Predator, but quit when he got to the set and found out the suit would hide his face and he wouldn't get to show off his sweet martial arts moves. And lastly, bulls don't charge at a matador's cape because it's red. They're colorblind. They charge because of the way the cape moves. And that's your random facts for today. All right, let's see. Moving right along. Labor Day is here. What are you going to be doing for it? Do you have any Labor Day plans? Sitting on the couch doing nothing? Well, that counts as plans, apparently. A new survey. Yes, your sociologist back at work again, scoffing up your tax money to do this exciting survey. Found that 2/3 of Americans have plans for Labor Day weekend and watching a movie or just getting some quiet time in or both in the top 5. Number 6 thing that people will do this weekend, 23% plan to go do some shopping. Number 5, 26% are hitting a party. Number 4, 27% are doing some outdoor stuff. Number 3, 35% are looking forward to some quiet time. Or do you actually get it? Number 2, 36% will try to get at least one movie in. That is, if you can get your foot unstuck from the floor to get out of there. And the number one thing people will be doing this weekend will be firing up the grill and just enjoying a cookout with family and friends. The survey also found burgers are the top Labor Day food, followed by hot dogs, chicken, steak, and ribs. And 2/3 of us will be drinking beer this weekend. Only 34% said they will not. I guess I fall in that category. I can't remember the last beer I ever had. Just never. A lot of people like it. I just never grew a taste for it. I can drink it and it's okay, but I'm waiting for the sugar rush, which there's not one there. Here's an interesting question for you. Wouldn't it be better if you were getting paid to listen to me? Wouldn't that be good? Should you commute? The question is, should your commute count as part of your work hours? After all, it's part of your job to get there and get home, even though you don't get paid for it. And if you get an email or a call from your boss during your commute, you're going to take care of it, right? So isn't all that work time? According to the scientists behind the study, sucking off more of your tax money, they say the answer is yes, you should get paid for your commute. But believe it or not, they did find some people who wouldn't not want it that way. Those people say they like having their commute to mentally switch from home mode to work mode, and most importantly, they don't want to have their boss expect them to get stuff done during that time. And then you got the one that, commutes 30, 45 minutes away versus the one that's got a 10-minute commute. Is that fair? I mean, they're allowed to live wherever they want, commute as far as they want. That's all on them if they're paying for the time. But if the company's paying for the time, well, that cuts into how much the company has left over for your raise. Speaking of companies, being passive-aggressive and non-confrontational is so hot right now that it sounds like a billion-dollar idea. You know how millennials are. They have to have their safe space where they can retreat to and not feel like somebody's going to crash in on them and all that garbage. There's a company in Japan called Exit, and they only do one thing. They quit your job for you. If you want to leave your job, but you're too afraid to have that talk with your boss, you pay Exit $450, and they take care of it. They call your boss and the HR department, break the news, and get the paperwork started. The people at Exit say most of their clients are in their 20s and 30s, and the main reason they want someone to quit for them are they're afraid their bosses will try to talk to them into staying, or, they're just so nervous to do it themselves. Yeah, it's called being a coward is what it's called. But we did some searching, but we couldn't find any company over here that's offering this service. So, hey, there's a business opportunity for you. Unfortunately, you don't have to quit your job on your own to start it up. Right? All right, once again, tonight we will have Duke football for you. They're kicking off their season. ESPN, being the whores they are dumping it on Friday night, so we'll not have Pinecrest for you. But we will have Duke for you beginning at 6 p.m. with the pregame and kickoff at 7 o'clock right here on this station. So be sure to tune in for it. We'll resume the high school football for you next week. And so it goes for this Friday. Have yourself a great, safe Labor Day weekend. I'll see you back again on Tuesday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams and the Leader Man, and Nick and Colt the Dog. We'll all see you this afternoon at the hot, steamy Dog Park.